Tonight I got to tell y'all about another witch trial, but this one happened really in my own backyard here in East Tennessee in Coffee County, in the town of Manchester. Now, this is the story of the witch of Coffee County, but at the time, Manchester was still a township. This was in the early 1800s, and there was a prominent family in town named the Sheltons. And the Sheltons were well established, and they had several fair daughters. And it said the most striking of all their daughters was their youngest, Olivia. Olivia was said to be very fair and very kind-hearted also, and she was the most sought after of the highly sought after Shelton daughters. Well, anyway, one day Olivia was in town and she came across a stranger, a girl she hadn't seen before. And this girl was dressed in dirty rags, basically. She was in a dirty cape, is how they described it. And she was very disheveled. Her hair was matted, she was just unkempt. And when Olivia went to speak to her and ask who she was, she didn't speak. All she did was hold out her hand, as in to ask for something. Well, this struck Olivia. No, like I said, she was very kind-hearted, and she just wasn't having it. She decided that she was going to take this girl to her home and get her cleaned up and get a good meal in her, get her a good night's sleep. And that's what she did. And to everyone's surprise in the Shelton home, when they did get her there and they got the dirty cape off of her and got her cleaned up, she outshone the Shelton daughters. She was said to be a very striking beauty. She was blonde-headed, with alabaster skin and sparkling eyes was the description. And she still wouldn't speak, but she definitely outshone even the very pretty Shelton daughters. And it was even discussed among the Shelton parents that night at the dinner table about how beautiful this stranger was. And the mother said maybe we shouldn't have taken her in, or actually the father said maybe we shouldn't have taken her in because word's going to get out around town about this beautiful girl, and she's going to be more sought after than our own daughters. Well, the mother said, well, if we hadn't taken her in, someone else would have, and then surely she would be discovered in town eventually. So our best bet is to just keep her here, and that's what they did. They told this girl that she was only going to be safe within the confines of their home, that if she went out wandering on her own, she was going to be unsafe, and it was best if she just stayed there and let them protect her. Well, ultimately, Olivia did take this young stranger into town one day, and sure enough, she caught the attention of every prominent gentleman in town. It was soon that they were all pursuing her. And to make matters worse for the Shelton family, the suitor of Olivia, the young gentleman that was pursuing Olivia, changed his mind, and he asked the mother of the Shelton family for the stranger's hand in marriage. Of course, the mother wasn't having any of this, so she took it upon herself. She went to the local minister, and she told him that the young stranger was a witch. She said that this young stranger had enchanted everyone, and that's why she all of a sudden had the attention of all the gentlemen in town, and that the reason that she wouldn't speak is because if she did, it would be pure evil. Well, as these things went back then, word got out. The word got from the minister to the townspeople, and before you know it, a posse had been organized in Coffee County. Seems like all the townsfolk had gathered at the local cemetery, and they had dug a hole. And let's just say that the stranger was the victim of vigilante justice that night. Said as they were pulling her through the crowd, they spit at her, insulted her, and she still didn't speak. She didn't say a word. And as they were about, to commit her, Olivia spoke for her. She begged them not to do it. And right before they started to throw rocks on her, she said her only words, I am Sadie Baker. Only words she ever spoke. Well, things started returning to normal in town after that. The suitor that had been pursuing Olivia went back to pursuing her since the stranger was no longer there, and they went on and got married. But the thing was that this never set right with Olivia again. She was always comparing herself to the stranger, and she couldn't live with the idea that he settled for her, that she wasn't his first choice. And she was constantly staring herself in the mirror, and it eventually drove her mad. The jealousy, the envy that she couldn't be her now husband's first choice, it eventually drove her mad. And it said that the last time that the husband saw her, her last words to him were, "I am Sadie Baker." The exact same words the stranger had spoken, her last words. And then Olivia ran off into the woods, never to be seen again. Now, to this day, it's very popular among locals. The gravesite is well traveled, let's just put it that. She's in the Concord Cemetery, and it's easy to distinguish her grave from all the rest because people leave gifts. There's coins there, horseshoes, flowers. People leave gifts at Sadie Baker's grave often, let's just put it that way. It is also said that some nights you can see a woman wandering among the tombstones there. And it differs. Some people say that is Sadie Baker herself, and some people say that it's the spirit of Olivia. They're both said to haunt that graveyard. Anyway, that's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight. That's the Witch of Coffee County, Sadie Baker. And I hope you enjoyed this story. Also, if you have your own true paranormal story from Appalachia, I'd love to hear it. My email is visible in my bio here. You can also message me direct. And also, if you guys would, please share, follow, like, comment, all that. Repost it, share it to your story. I'm really trying to grow the channel, and I appreciate all you guys' comments and kindness so far. Everybody's been really good and really supportive, and I really appreciate that. I thank you for that. But if you would, I'm trying to grow the channel, so just share it, repost it. It doesn't cost a thing and just takes a couple of seconds. But again, that's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and keep Appalachia haunted, y'all.